specialist showcase has begun.
This was terrible. That just sounds like a dumb. I'm sure there's plenty of podcasts working on this. So funny.
The following is a fan-off production.
They call me Alice in Wonderland. They try to lure me with a man. Go, oh, what do you know? Is that a rabbit hole? Oh, I gotta see where we go. So off with my head, fell in love again. You lose your head, you lose your heart, fall apart, fall apart.
What's up, all you stars and studs? This is former WWE Diva and current First Lady of Ring of Honor, Maria Kanellis, and I am here with my co-host, Ring of Honor superstar, Michael Bennett.
And the winner of the 2014 Royal Rumble. That is me.
Yeah? Is that you?
Well, I figure I get, usually when I go out for a show or a match, I get that same reaction that Batista got when he won. So
It's the same thing.
Yeah. Last week I was Mr. Also scheduled to appear. This week I will be Mr. 2014 Royal Rumble winner!
You've got all kinds of names.
I think I'm going to have a new name every show.
Oh, well, that is a lot to keep up with.
I've been former WWE or future WWE diva Michelle Bennett. And last week I was Mr. Also scheduled to appear. And then this week I'm Mr. 2014 Royal Rumble winner.
Perfect.
Me and Batista.
Poor Batista. That's
Batista.
sad. I really like Batista. He bought dinner for my mom one time for her birthday. It was the nicest thing ever.
I think he's just he's a casualty. What's the word they call?
I know what you're talking about, but I can't remember.
Collateral damage.
Collateral damage. I definitely think that because everybody really wants to see Daniel Bryan.
He's collateral damage. I think had he not, had it been any other situation, I think he'd be good because I think the fans, I think they want to see something with Batista. I think he's new and exciting and all this stuff. And, but I think he's not really new and exciting, but people like returns. So I think that's kind of cool. But I think Bryan is just so on fire right now. Why do
you think that is? Can I ask you that question? Why do you think Daniel Bryan is what everybody wants to see right now?
Can we
call him Bryan Danielson on the show because
we can call him whatever we want. We can call him everything, anything you want.
All right.
I guess it's the same thing you'd have to say how come Stone Cold got so hot. Usually it's when people just connect with you. They see, I liked with Stone Cold, I feel like they connected with him because they saw themselves in him or they wished they were him with his attitude and if you think about it, he really didn't catch complete fire until he started doing with the stuff with McMahon. And
come on, his early stuff was awesome.
No, yeah. Actually, if you are if you're a diehard wrestling fan like myself, Stone Cold and WCW and his teaming up with Brian Pillman and stuff is fucking phenomenal.
I love that.
That's the stuff I love to watch when they were the Hollywood Blondes.
Yes,
so
that DVD is amazing. If you are a wrestling fan, you should see that documentary. I'm obsessed with documentaries, so I've seen almost every single one of them out there. But this one about Brian Pillman is it's incredible. Anyways, continue.
I just think the people connect because Daniel Bryan's such an underdog. I think people see themselves in him and he looks like a normal guy, and that's not a knock on him, but in wrestling it's always larger than life superheroes, and Daniel Bryan's kicking ass looking like a normal everyday Joe, and I think it's a testament to how good he is that he can look that way but still look like an ass kicker, if that makes any sense. And I think plus he's so fucking crisp and good in the ring that it's just if you're that talented, the cream's always going to rise to the top, and I think that has a huge reason to play into it.
Do you think that transfers over into pay-per-view buys? Does it transfer over into television viewership, or is it just that live crowd? What do you think?
I think it definitely does. I think it's a matter of just giving him the time and the place and letting it mature and happen. There's always down points in pay-per-views. There's always down points in ratings. I think if you play it by the book and play it so close to the vest like they do sometimes, I think they hurt themselves more than they help themselves. I think a lot of times a crowd, if you have 20,000 people booing at a pay-per-view strictly because they want to see Daniel Bryan win or in it, I'm sorry, but that's not just that crowd. You could play devil's advocate like we were talking earlier and say, well, maybe it's the Pittsburgh crowd because they're a tougher crowd than, say, the Raleigh, North Carolina crowd or the Mobile, Alabama crowd. But 20,000 people in Pittsburgh, it's not just smart internet fans. There's not 20,000 smart internet fans booing. There's kids, mothers, fathers, wives, husbands that are booing. And that's something special. That's a revolution. It's like one person's doing it.
Can I give you my opinion on it?
Sure.
Okay. So when everything crashed a few years ago, when the housing market crashed, all that stuff happened, right? So when all of that stuff crashed, everybody ended up going back to school. Everybody started to try and better themselves. And some people were able to do that and some were not. And, but there was this whole fashion side of things that came out of it with these big black rimmed glasses. The girls are dressing in like the university gear, even if they're in their early 30s, like I am. But like that whole kind of nerdy everyday look came around, and I think that Daniel Bryan is just catching on to that. What that ideal is in society right now. The ideal is if you lost your home and your job and your blah, 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 because the market crashed, you want to be in school because that means you're bettering yourself. You want to be that person that looks like can make something of themselves, even though they're not the tallest or the biggest or the blah, 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 blah. He is the epitome of what society is doing right now. And now that no one's paying any attention to him, it's even more so like making people like him. Because like if you look at how angry everyone is right now because the minimum wage hasn't been raised in forever. If you look at the fact that the minimum wage and like the medium wage is lower than it was in the 1970s. Like if you look at all of that, everybody in society right now feels oppressed. And so Daniel Bryan, if he makes it out of that, is a statement in society. If Daniel Bryan can make it from oppression and make it to be a top guy, that means that every single wrestling fan can also do that. They can make it out of oppression in their own lives. And so there's my my view on it.
Okay, so I have a question. I have a counterpoint to that. Then if that's what it is, if it's they connect with the struggle, then is it so much Daniel Bryan that they're connecting with, or are they connecting with the WWE holding them down in theoretically a storyline of being held down by, quote unquote, the Authority and Triple H and Stephanie?
It's both. You have got to have the right vessel. You can't just slap a sticker on a piece of crap car and call it a Lexus. It has to be a Lexus in order for it to drive like a Lexus and get the gas mileage and get the blah, blah, blah. You can't just slap a sticker that says Lexus on anything or a Ferrari or whatever your desires.
Well, we are speaking about the Royal Rumble, and I believe our guest has connected to Wonderland. Can I say Wonderland?
You can say it.
Our guest, if I can give a formal introduction, is actually an independent wrestler who I've known for a long time. He's from Massachusetts, just like myself, and he cuts one hell of a promo, and it's kind of blown up in the Massachusetts area, talking about Tom Brady and the Red Sox, and more importantly, I believe Fitchburg State and their baseball team. The one and only one-man thrill ride, Jimmy Preston. What's up, buddy?
going on? Very excited to be here.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us. Oh, we can hear you. Can you hear us?
I hear you loud and clear. I'm on a speakerphone. I just want to make sure.
Are you driving? Are you cruising around somewhere?
I'm driving.
Good man. We were first of all, thank you for being on the show.
And I think you do your best work while you're in the car. Personally, I think you do your best work in the car.
So
did you happen to see my most recent one?
Not your most recent one, but I've seen a couple, and I just have to say I'm a big fan. Big fan of your work.
I appreciate it. I had Bieber fever in my last one. I gave my thoughts on the whole Bieber saga.
Oh, that's amazing. I don't think I've seen that one.
Yeah, you're going to have to check that out.
Where can people check it out?
So I have a YouTube channel. So it's youtube.com/OneManThrillRide, and I'm loving that we're getting to my plug about 30 seconds in.
Oh, we'll plug it all night, brother. We will plug it all night.
And that's what she said.
Oh, yes. Amazing. So, because we were texting earlier, and we were texting yesterday when I asked you to be on the show and whatnot, and I believe you told me you had some Rumble thoughts. Now, I want to save. I know I wanted you to cut a promo on either the Super Bowl or the Royal Rumble, so I want to save that till the very end before we end the interview. But I just want your personal thoughts on what you thought about the Royal Rumble, being in the business yourself, and how you perceived it.
Well, I actually wanted to switch gears. I was thinking about doing a promo on CM Punk.
Do it. You want it all.
But so the question was what my thoughts were on the Royal Rumble?
Yeah, absolutely.
I saw a tweet that you put out during the Rumble, and I couldn't agree more. I just can't stand. I felt like the crowd didn't come to be entertained. They came with an agenda, and when they did that, they missed a great match. I thought the Cena-Orton match was actually a pretty good match.
Right.
And it just kind of made me sick that a pay-per-view in the WWE could go off like that. It really reminded me of, like, WCW, like, in 2002 when it was just about to be, or I think 2001 or late 2000 when it was about to be bought out by Vince. And the pay-per-views are just so bad, and the crowd just, it was terrible. It was like, to see that as a WWE pay-per-view was like, as a lifelong fan, I was kind of disgusted about it, but
right.
they're just voicing their opinions apparently. But I don't know. I thought it ruined the show. And
I mean, I sat here and watched the Cena and Orton match, and I loved it. And I've talked to a lot of people about it, and I was like, because people have been tweeting me back and forth, and they're like, "Well, is it really a good match if the crowd doesn't get involved?" And my answer was, it's a good match if the crowd doesn't get involved when the crowd already has their own agenda, and that agenda is to sabotage the match. And to me, it's like, yes, we've seen Orton and Cena a million times, but we've also seen Batman versus Joker a million times. We've also seen Flair versus Steamboat a million times. How many times did we see Austin and Undertaker or these types of matches? Now, again, I'm not comparing the two, but I feel like, in Jimmy, you've been wrestling for a good amount of time. You've been on the indies. I feel like sometimes the fans have their own agenda, and I personally loved what they did in the Rumble, because if you want Bryan, you want Bryan. That's cool. But I didn't have a lot of time for what they did in the Cena-Orton match. Do you feel like sometimes fans hijack their own enjoyment because they think they're part of the show as opposed to just watching the show and enjoying it?
Yeah, that's exactly it. And I think it's almost disrespectful to the guys who have been through a formal training process and are in the ring day in and day out, and for them to think that they can go in the ring and either do a better job or they want to see a particular guy, like they can go and write the show better than Vince McMahon, who's been doing it pretty much his entire life. It's pretty ludicrous. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't know what's going on backstage. They don't know what's going on backstage. And I'll tell you right now, the PW Manias, the Pro Wrestling Insider, they don't know all the details either. So just because you're staying up on the internet all the time, you're not in those closed room meetings, you don't know what's going on, you don't know what resources you're dealing with. It's just totally preposterous. And it's almost just arrogant when you come in there like they should go there to be entertained and have fun. And I thought Orton handled it awesome. Like I read, he's getting boring chants and he goes up on the turnbuckle and starts posing. And when he did it at the time, I was like, awesome, slow it down. Make a chant for him, keep going.
Right.
I loved it. It was
Right.
like, I was pissed. I was happy for them because on one token they're cheating boring, and we want divas and stuff during the match. And
They
then
did say that.
75% of the crowd is biting on every false finish and reacting.
Right.
Like,
Yeah,
it's like, we're cheating boring, it sucks, but then they're like, oh, for every false beat. It's like, dude, they own you.
And that was what threw me off is there were people there and that's why I said, I feel like they hijacked their own enjoyment, because had they just sat back and let themselves get immersed into the match, like you said, they were biting on the false finishes. They were into the fact that Orton kicked out of the Attitude Adjustment and then Cena kicked out of the RKO, and then they exchanged each other's finishers where Orton hit the Attitude Adjustment and Cena hit the RKO, and they legit were biting on each false finish. So that's why I feel like...
Can I give my opinion on that?
Yeah, please do.
Okay, so what is the average age for the crowds? 18 to 35 male is like the majority of the crowd. That's
Not
what they are.
More. I feel like it's kids, don't you?
There's a ton of kids, but who's buying? It's going to be...
yes.
Who's turning it on at home?
Right.
Okay. So you have these 18 to 35-year-old guys that are watching this show. There comes a certain point when these guys are going to want to see something new. They're going to want to see, who's going to take over next. I feel like that is why it always drops off after 35, because when you've been watching wrestling for that long, and if you've only seen the same guy and you're not seeing a new guy coming up, and you're not seeing the guy that just, is 21 or is new in wrestling or new to WWE, like, who are you going to look at for that fresh start? So yes, they still love Randy Orton and John Cena. They do. But the problem is they want someone else to cheer for. They need that, especially if you're looking at, people that are getting into their late 30s, and they need like something fresh and exciting because they've already wore out the other guys so much. So yes, John Cena and Randy Orton are very good at getting the crowd, but that's not enough. They also need to be able to chant yes because it's new. It's exciting.
Right, but what me and Jimmy are saying, and correct me, Jimmy, if I'm wrong, but Daniel Bryan was never in the title match. He was never supposed to be in that match.
No.
He was booked for a match against the Wyatts, and he wrestled his match against the Wyatts. He was never booked to be in the title match. So yes, there is a title match going on, and yes, it's Orton and Cena, and maybe you don't want it, but you are there at the show. This is the match. This is what you bought the ticket to see. Why are you going to hijack your own enjoyment when you can sit there and the match was enjoyable, and it could have been
the match is enjoyable, but it should be new guy versus veteran wrestler, because that way you're getting both sides of the coin. And I've always thought with WWE and with the way that they build guys, it's kind of like they take them a little bit and then they bring them back, and then take them a little bit and then bring them back. And I just would like to see a long period where you're building one guy, like whether it be CM Punk or if it's Daniel Bryan, and this is my segue into my next question. But I need to see this for a long period of time so we can start passing the torch, so that when guys like Batista come back, you're excited to see him face new people, not just go and see him face the same people you saw him wrestle before. I want to see what Batista's like when he's in the ring with Daniel Bryan, or what is he like when he's in the ring with someone else. I don't want. That's why it's exciting when a guy comes back from being gone, not because he's coming back to do the same freaking match, but because he's coming back and doing something completely different. It's like when you ask the question, okay, so if this baseball player played baseball in the 1920s, would he be awesome? Or would the 1920s guy be able to play baseball in today? It'd be cool to see. Or would Michael Jordan be amazing if he was in his prime? If he went against Kobe Bryant, would they have would that be a great matchup, or is it a totally different thing? Like, you want to see those matchups, but it just irritates me so much.
You said you were leading into a question. What is
I am.
it?
Okay, so my question is, so Jimmy, what do you think of CM Punk and what happened on Monday?
I don't know all the details. I read it online initially. I guess he got left off Raw because they were doing something with the Elimination Chamber. And then the way they were building Raw with Lesnar, I was like, okay, the babyfaces win against the Shield. You're going to put Daniel Bryan, Cena, Sheamus in there. And then, to me, the logical connection was CM Punk, Lesnar. And then that's an awesome main event. And that's what I was like, oh, they're going to do something special here. And my personal opinion on the whole thing, before we get into CM Punk, is maybe I'm biased, but I think they should do whatever they can to keep Lesnar and, put the belt on. He's the king of pay-per-view. You know what I mean? When he was in UFC, the buy rates were through the roof.
He does do well.
You know what I mean? It's like, to me, and Daniel Bryan, I guess, he's the best worker in the world, but Brock Lesnar, not only is he an unbelievable wrestler, he's also the best legitimate fighter in the world. He was a Division I All-American, or heavyweight champion at that weight class, and if you put him on the Saturday Night Live, and you put him next to LeBron James, standing next to each other, it's credible. Whereas if you get someone who's not 6 feet tall and not built like, he doesn't look like $1 million necessarily, does it really give credibility to the wrestling industry? You know what I mean? To someone who's a non-fan, to someone who's a smart mark, or to someone who watches all the time, they know, man, Daniel Bryan's incredible. He's an incredible talent.
Right.
And anybody who's a wrestler knows that. But to the people necessary to get on board to build the audience, is he the guy to grow the audience? I don't know, but I think that's what they're thinking internally. That would just be my guess.
Yeah.
They're thinking, he's the best wrestler. He's next in line. But if we put the belt on him for 12 months, is that going to gain viewers, or are we going to just entertain the same, group that's, giving us this buy rate every month instead of increasing them? That's probably what's happening, and just a guess,
Well, they're thinking big picture, and it's actually kind of, honestly, Jimmy, it's kind of nice to get a different perspective, because a lot of wrestling, because obviously I'm a wrestling fan, you're a wrestling fan at heart, even though we are in wrestling. It's kind of nice because a lot of the people that we talk to are from a different mindset than you are, where it's like, I hate this word, but work rate and how a guy wrestles in the ring or what kind of style he is. A lot of the people that we talk to, that's how they judge what they like, and a lot of people don't believe the fact that size and larger than life characters do sell tickets, do bring in sponsors, do bring up ratings. And to me, it's nice to talk to someone who has a different perspective, because I think there's a middle ground between the two, and I think you do too. But and I think it's just kind of nice to get a different perspective of someone who's not like, well, it's all about how good you are in the ring, but we do need the guys that look like how Lex Luger used to look, and how, all these big jacked up guys, because like you said, you put them next to real athletes and they have to go toe to toe with them to make our sport legitimate. Right.
Absolutely. It builds credibility, and that's why Jim Ross would always say, The Rock, 6'5", 275, defensive tackle from the University of Miami. You immediately say that and you're like, this guy's the real deal.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's huge for the mainstream audience that's going to grow and make this as big as it was when Austin and The Rock were on top.
Right.
And they just don't view, I think that's what, they don't see guys like CM Punk and Daniel Bryan as being the guys to take wrestling to the next level.
Right.
Which is unfortunate, because they're probably the two best workers there. But
I don't necessarily think that guy's there right now. I don't think there is that guy, and that's why they've been holding on to Cena for so long, because that guy isn't there. But they got to do something. They can't. Yeah, right. They can't continue with the path that they're on, because it's not. Cena is getting older. Eventually, he won't be able to hold that top spot anymore, just because he's older. And I fear for them, because I feel like they don't have that guy. They don't have the next Rock or Stone Cold Steve Austin, or they just don't have it.
Yeah,
I kind of see where you're coming from, and I agree. I think my fear from a wrestling fan, because I know, Mike, you and I have talked about this, we both kind of see wrestling in the same way. Wrestling's at its best when it's a story about good versus evil. Mm-hmm. And it's a story that you can tell to an 8-year-old kid and they understand, but you can also tell it to someone who's 60 years old.
Right. And
if it's done right and done well, that's what it is. It's a live-action sports drama between good and evil.
Right. The
second it becomes a pure, a demonstration of an exchange of holds and these high-flying spots, and, there aren't larger-than-life characters that, that just, I like to say scream. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
That's another thing. One of my problems with WWE programming is, I think in 2008, Jericho and HBK had that storyline where Jericho accidentally punched his Shawn Michaels' wife, and he started doing these promos where he's very slow and methodical. And It was great because originally he was getting heat from it, and it was awesome. And now I feel like every single promo is cut out of that model.
Right.
It's like, that's great if Jericho's the only guy doing it, and you got Randy Savage yelling and screaming over here, and like there's got to be. I think they're doing a good job now recruiting guys of different shapes and sizes, like Danny Bryan to Kali, but they don't have the guys who do the different promos and have. I don't know. That's my big issue.
But do you think those guys are out there? I mean,
yes.
Do you think that there's?
Yes. If I can quote Daniel Bryan, yes, 100% yes. There are guys out there who are larger than life that could easily carry the WWE.
Okay, so why?
One person that comes to mind is Kevin Steen. He may not have the build and the look that you expect, but Kevin is a big motherfucker. I've been in the ring with him. He hits fucking hard, and he is someone who, alone on his wrestling ability, and he's a larger-than-life character. He could carry the WWE to make millions of dollars. Now,
I agree with you on that, but my question is like, why aren't they making it into WWE now?
I think a big reason is because they're already established guys, and the WWE has their performance center, and their performance center is to manufacture like an assembly line and get the guys they want. Now, it's hard if you have a guy like Kevin who's already set in his ways and has made money doing it his way, to have him come into the WWE and say, well, this is the way you have to do it or you're going to do it, and this is the way to make money. And it's harder to mold and train those guys to be what they want to be. In turn, you get the guys like Daniel Bryan and CM Punk, who are super 100% over with the crowd, but they may not be the WWE mold, so they don't want to give them the quote-unquote push because they don't fit the mold. But
I mean, okay, so why wouldn't you? Okay, if I'm WWE. All right. So I'm WWE. I'm looking for new talent. I go on history. Who has created the best guys out there? And basically, who has created the best guys has just been them creating themselves. It's been independent wrestlers that have gone from place to place, figured out what works, landed on their head one too many times, and figured it out because it was either that or starved to death. It wasn't going down to a performance center where it's a state-of-the-art thing, where it's absolutely gorgeous. You're getting trained by the best of the best, and you're being told, oh, look this way, look that way, say this, say that. That doesn't teach anybody anything. That teaches a robot. That doesn't teach a human being. A human being, and this is what I always say to you, if the best characters out there come from something real, something deep. You lost your mother, you lost your father, you lost your dog, you lost your this. That's why country music is so great, and that is when wrestling is great. Because when it's reality, based in reality, that is when the guys are amazing. But
I think you just answered your own question there, where you said, how come where you said that's why they're holding on to Cena.
I was just throwing you a lob ball. I was just throwing you a lob because I knew what you would say.
I'm answering your question. I'm answering your question. When you said that, you just answered it yourself, where you said they manufacture robots and they don't let guys find themselves. And like I look at like Jimmy's a perfect example, where if you, for all our people listening, go watch his YouTube videos, and we'll give you his link again. But his promos are not only entertaining, but they're funny and they're real and they're like throwback to 1980 style of wrestling. Now, if Jimmy goes to WWE, fingers crossed they won't do this to him, but they might say, hey, that's not how we cut promos anymore. So they just cut his legs out right there. And I think
don't even know if it was good then.
Right.
Like, what do we do? Like, how do we, as wrestlers, like go and spotlight ourselves in all of our greatness? You know, like,
Right.
and now it's funny because on Twitter I'm getting all these different names of people that, you know, like Dean Ambrose has quite a mouth on him, says David Stepp. And, you know, then we've got Fandango from Joe Spinelli, I think is how you say it. And, you know, so people are giving me names of wrestlers they think that could go on to greater things, but they need to be built.
Right.
And they need to be in there with guys. Like when you're in there with a Triple H or a Shawn Michaels or when you're in there with those types of guys, you can get better because you can either go up to their level or you can fail miserably. And you need that.
I think a lot of talent that hasn't been tapped into by the WWE is on the independents. Now, Jimmy, being a wrestler on the independents, who is a wrestler that you specifically, I would say, an independent wrestler, because everyone always asks the question, who in WWE would you like to wrestle with right now? But I think there's so much talent on the indies right now. I think there's a lot of shit on the indies too, but there's a lot of talent right now. Who in particular or what? I mean, you can tell me as many guys as you want. Who are you just dying to work with right now?
That's a tough call.
Yeah.
I mean, that's never been my approach. My approach is I show up and the promoter tells me to work with.
Right.
I'd love to work with, Eddie Edwards.
Yeah.
You know, obviously his reputation speaks for itself. I'd like to work with Kevin Steen. He's a big guy. I saw him work with Chris Dickinson at Beyond Wrestling. I thought they had a good match. I've worked with you a few times. I really enjoyed that. We have to do that again.
We tore the house down, the Franklin Elks Lodge. We tore it right down to the ground.
That's right. There was 100 people on their feet.
Oh, they
whole time.
wouldn't sit down.
That was a pretty good match, but only in front of 100 people. So
that's all right. We had them clinging to every move.
That's right. But I don't know. I wouldn't like, and I think of WWE guys. People shit on Ryback. I would love to work with Ryback. You know what I mean? I think he's awesome. You know, if I was like still a fan growing up, I would cheer for Ryback. Like I would have been a Ryback fan. I wouldn't have been a Daniel Bryan fan.
See, and that's what I'm talking about. Is like there is wrestling there because we're so. I think because the smart fans are the loudest. There are the fans out there that do like the Rybacks, that do like the Batistas.
Oh, there's tons of them.
Like they do.
There's tons of them.
They make money, and I always like to say. Pro wrestling and pro wrestlers in particular are the closest thing to real life superheroes that we have in society. And when you look at a guy like Ryback, despite what you think about his in-ring ability, he looks like a superhero. Batista looks like a superhero. Cena looks like a superhero. People just naturally cling to that. Like, can you imagine if Batman was Batman, but he came out and he was 170 pounds and was just like, hey, guys, I'm coming to save you. Like, people wouldn't get behind that. So I think there's a fine balance there. I really do. So now that we did the indie guys, Jimmy, who in WWE would you like to, besides Ryback? And we know that your man crush on Ryback. Who do you like besides that?
Without a doubt, I'd want to work with John Cena in the Bank North Garden.
Now, why is
from
that?
Boston, so.
Why? Oh,
how's your Patriots?
Oh.
Wait, how's the Patriots? Hey guys, how's the Patriots?
Tommy Brady hasn't won a Super Bowl since he found out he's got the second best cleft in the chin in all of Boston, because the one-man throw ride has the best one.
Maria's a Chicago Bears fan, so we can't even make fun of her for that because she gets it every day of her life.
I do.
What happened on that Hail Mary?
Oh, dude, I don't know.
What are you doing?
I don't know, but the Blackhawks won last year, so you know what? I'm okay. I'm okay.
Yeah.
I've
never been to Chicago. I heard it's a great city.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. For the wedding, dude, you're gonna have to come.
Yeah, for the wedding.
Well,
Are you in?
if I get the invite, I'll be there.
Oh, you're already. The invite's coming.
The save the dates are getting sent out. Which, by the way, I hate to change the subject, but how's those addresses coming? Because I sent you a form that you have to fill out.
They're coming. They're on their way.
Yeah, they're on their way. Where are they on their way from? Zimbabwe?
They'll be there.
Snail mail from Zimbabwe. That's what I'm getting.
Okay, so Jimmy, I'm going to change the subject before I get in trouble.
Of course you are.
Before we let you go and have you cut a promo on whatever you want to cut, and I want to tell our producer to save this and edit it because I want it to kind of be involved in the opening part of the show. I think it'd be kind of fun.
Nice. Okay.
But quickly, the Super Bowl's this weekend. I know you're a huge sports fan, just like myself. I know our Patriots should have been in it, but because Aaron Hernandez is a murderer and Gronkowski can't stay healthy, we got screwed over. What are your thoughts on who's winning the Super Bowl? I mean, we both hate Peyton Manning because we're from Boston, but who do you like? Who are you taking?
I'm going to have to go with the Seahawks just because I think they got a great defense, and they have the best special teams unit in all the National Football League.
Right.
And I swear to God, I got an email from the strength and conditioning coach of the Seahawks. They want me to do a video for them.
Come on.
Oh, I swear to God, I guess the special teams unit, like they're watching my videos. I guess so.
That's fucking amazing. See,
okay,
you people. Listen.
I gotta come up with some ideas. I don't know anything about. Stay in your lane. That's all I know about special teams. Stay in your lane. A kickoff team.
Yeah.
I don't know enough about it, but I gotta figure something out quick.
Where can people follow you? Where can they watch your videos? Where can they tweet you? Facebook, blah blah blah.
Okay, on Facebook, I'm facebook.com/TheRealJimmyPreston. On Twitter, I am at @1_ThrillRide. @1_ManThrillRide. And at YouTube.com/OneManThrillRide. So it's a channel. You subscribe to it. You automatically get an email every time I upload a video. And then if you subscribe, you can see all my videos in one place. I got about 40 videos up. We're trying to get more wrestling up.
Awesome.
Everybody's saying my promos are solid, but, my wrestling
matches.
isn't the shit. So, we get highlights of our match, but.
We'll make sure we tweet all those out to everyone. So in case they didn't get it, so
speak for yourself. I'm not tweeting nothing.
Oh, Heat! What a heel. Okay, so now drum roll, please. The moment we've all been waiting for: Jimmy Preston and his promo on anything he wants. Are you ready, Jimmy?
As ready as I'm gonna be, baby. We're doing it live.
All right, we'll do it live. Take it away, boss.
Handsome is officially happening right now on the Mike and Maria in Wonderland show. And the news of the day is that CM Punk has left the WWE. I know all you 40-year-old virgin, basement-dwelling internet fanboys, all you smart marks are just crushed. The fact of the matter is, CM Punk, the office got to you, didn't they, brother? They got to you and they broke you. And you want to talk about your pipe bombs, that WWE program, why you're not in it. You're not in the WWE program because you have a sunken chest that I could eat a bowl of cereal out of. You're not on the WWE program because you're rocking that skinny, fat look. So instead of doing a pipe bomb promo, how about you get in the weight room and do something about it like a professional athlete would? You wear your kick pads on your shins like you're playing youth soccer with a bunch of 9-year-olds. What's the matter, Punk? Vince didn't buy enough orange slices for catering. You see, kick pads are for pussycats. So you got to take those pads off and kick me like a man. You had $1 million company giving you a platform to call yourself the best in the world. They pumped your tires weekly on national television saying you're the best in the world. You had all that support and you still couldn't get it done. The office broke you. And when you walked out that door, you proved that that moniker is nothing but a catchphrase. And what you did was you opened up the door for a man who is unbreakable, for a man that is unbeatable, for an absolute savage. And when that time comes, that door will be kicked into oblivion. But until that happens, CM Punk, I'm issuing you a challenge anytime, any place. But more than likely right now, in a VFW near you. See ya, dink.
That was amazing.
Thank you, Jimmy. Thank you for coming on. We really appreciate it.
Thanks, buddy. Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Have a good one, guys.
Bye. Who doesn't want to buy tickets to see Jimmy Preston versus CM Punk now? Huh? Jimmy Preston is awesome. For anyone who's listening, check him out.
But here's the thing. Why Jimmy Preston? Why did you bring him on? Like, explain a little bit more for people that do not live in Boston, which there are lots of those people.
There is.
So you need to explain.
Okay, so Jimmy's been kind of on and off in wrestling ever since I started. And lately he came back, and I've kind of been helping him out, helping him train. He's really been getting a lot of training down at a school in Fall River, Top Rope Promotions, run by a guy named Ryan Drew, who is a fucking amazing trainer. And he's really been doing all the work with Jimmy, so he should get a lot of the credit. But he should get all the credit, actually. So, but Jimmy's come back, and he just he's super talented. He's first of all a great athlete. He looks like $1 million, and I wanted him on because I knew he'd have a different perspective. Jimmy is a huge wrestling fan, but he loves the body guys. He loves Carlito's body guys. That's what he loves. He loves he loves the Rybacks, and he was a huge Warrior fan. Yeah, he loves those guys, and I just wanted to show that perspective, and then it kind of all fell into place with what happened this weekend with Brian and everything, to say that, yes, that crowd was rabid, but there is another side of it. And not only that, but he cuts a fucking amazing promo. If you're into like 1980 style promos where the guys are just in your face nonstop, that's what he did. And with
the thickest accent ever.
Yes. And he cut, go to his One Male Thrill Ride on YouTube and watch his promos, especially the one about his alumni game on Fitchburg State, where he's just eating a bacon, egg, and cheese croissant sandwich. And I'm telling you, you guys will love him. I promise you. He's super talented. And I wanted to have him.
What kind of accolades has he been getting? I mean, he's
tons.
been put on different shows. He's been
like I said, he's kind of blown up here in the Boston area. He's been on all the local sports talk radio shows. They call sports talk radio shows down in Alabama have called him. And he literally the Red Sox were big fans of his promos, and he just said the Seahawks special teams unit wants him to cut a promo to get them pumped up for the Super Bowl. That's what it's awesome. And with the Super Bowl being this weekend, we wanted to have him on. And
those are the kinds of things we want to do with this show is we want to have different perspectives. I think that so many times we get stuck in the one wrestling perspective of things. Yeah. It doesn't necessarily it isn't necessarily representative of the whole. It's just one small piece of the pie is the super hardcore smart marks, which I hate that word, but that's just one very small piece of the pie. And when you do see all those different perspectives, it kind of it shows a lot better. It's a lot more reminiscent of what's actually going on in the wrestling world.
Yeah, and I just think I don't think I don't think me and you both intended to talk this much wrestling on this show today, but I think it's kind of
I don't care what we end up talking about.
Yeah, but I think it's kind of
enjoy, talking about whatever is current and fun.
Yeah, and it's kind of a big deal right now. There's a lot going on with what happened at the Royal Rumble.
Okay, everybody that is watching this or listening to the show right now wants to know my perspective on what's happening with CM Punk.
I'd love to know.
Okay, so
tell me.
For one, I think it's very weird that people come. There was actual messages earlier today, asking me and Beth and AJ and Lita and whoever else what's going on with Punk. I am an ex-girlfriend from a long time ago, so I do not talk to this man on a daily basis. I love his work. I think he's done great things in wrestling, but that does not make me an expert, for heaven's sake. I know you want to tweet me these things and think that I'm going to have answers, but I don't have real answers. All I have is theories, just like anybody else that is watching what is happening. But my theory on this whole thing is CM Punk is a very rich, intelligent man. He knows exactly what he's doing. whether it be this is all a storyline and we're all going to be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe they got us, or if it's his reality right now. He has his house. He has his life. He's never been a crazy spender. He doesn't have a million cars, or he likes his life. He likes to go to concerts, and he likes to go to UFC and MMA stuff. So if he's happy and he wants to go do that, good for him. I mean, there comes a point where you just get exhausted in wrestling. Like, it is hard work. I did it for 5.5 years, and it's exhausting. So if that's what he's doing, good for him. I don't have real answers, though. So whoever's asking for real answers from me, I don't have them. I'm getting married to a lovely man who is on this podcast with me right now.
Hi, that's me.
That's you. Yes.
Hey, that's me.
Yeah.
Can I give you my thoughts on it?
Yeah, I'd love to know your thoughts.
Fucking A, good for you, Punk. From all the wrestlers who have busted their ass and been treated like shit and deserve more, you've already done so much for guys on the indies, and just, thanks. That's all. Thanks for giving us a voice. We appreciate it, because it's such a monopoly in this business, and we all want to get to where he is. But I think we often overlook that even when we do get there, it's probably not all we expect it to be. And so, thanks for, showing people that you're talented enough and good enough to say that I deserve to be treated this way. And if you don't treat me that way, you're not asking for something outrageous. You're asking for the respect about what you think you've worked for and you deserve, and good for you. And I have another pet peeve that I want to pick on before we go on to anything else, and that's after this kind of news came out, I read a lot of tweets and a lot of Facebook stuff from indie wrestlers who were not too kind about what CM Punk did, saying stuff like, looks like he couldn't handle the lifestyle or this and that. Let me tell you something. And from a guy who wrestles pretty consistently, I don't even wrestle full time. You don't wrestle full time because you wrestle 3 days out of the month, 20 minutes from your fucking house. You're not a pro wrestler. You're a fake fucking pretender. What CM Punk does, he's a pro wrestler. That's full time. And you have no clue what it's like. I don't even have a clue what it's like to be on the road 300 days a year. Maria does. She gets it. So she can tell you how tough that is. Do not think for 1 second because you wrestle 3 days, even if you wrestle 4 or 5 days out of the month, you're a full-time pro wrestler. We have a caller.
We do.
Oh my god, I cannot believe I won it. Yay.
Oh, look at this.
What's your name?
This is so exciting. No, I was calling because, I just really wanted to say hi to Maria.
Oh, hello there.
Honestly, I've always looked up to you, ever since you were in WWE, and I saw, a lot of myself in your bubbly personality, and then I came to find out that we have actually the same birthday, February 25th, so that was really exciting.
Woo.
Awesome.
I know, that's so exciting. So I have a question about that, because I heard that we're very intuitive and rational at the same time, so I just want to know your take on it, how you feel about intuition.
Well, I think Mike can actually answer that question better. I think I pretty much know exactly what's going to happen with anybody I meet within, 20 minutes or so.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, it's crazy. All my friends are like, oh my God, I cannot believe I just can't. But oh my goodness, I love the fact that I got to talk to you. Thank you so much.
What's your
Yay.
name? What is your name?
Fernie.
Well, it's very nice to meet you. Thank you so much for calling in.
Thanks for calling. Thanks
Yay.
for listening.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Of course. I wasn't expecting a call.
Me neither, but
I think we're supposed to get a beep or something that tells us, hey, you're going to get a call or something.
No, hey, we got a caller. Maybe they hacked into the show.
Maybe they did.
They just hacked into the show.
No, I mean, what I was saying about going to these independent wrestling shows, like I respect wrestling. I respect it if you do it one day a month or if you do it 20 or 30 days a month. But people need to really realize how tough it actually is. It's not what you think. It's not like every day we're eating bonbons and getting massages. Like, no, it's waking up every day at 6 o'clock in the morning and taking a flight on Thursday or Friday and then flying into a town, going directly from there to get some lunch, then going to the gym, then going to the building, figuring out what you're doing that night, wrestling a match. Then afterwards, you're driving 4 hours to the next town, getting in and staying at the local Red Roof Inn. You stay at the Red Roof, you sleep until 9 the next morning, and you do it all over again. You go to the gym, you go to lunch, you get to the building, you wrestle a match, you hope for the best, then you're driving 4 or 5 hours again that night. And
then sprinkle in a nagging ankle injury or a nagging wrist injury or a lower back injury, and it just never goes away because you never stop.
I don't care how much you say, oh, well, they're making so much money. You tell me how much money is worth when you can't even walk. You tell me how much that dollar bill is worth.
Dollar bill, y'all.
Or you can't visit with your family, or you can't even keep your train of thought because you're in so much pain. Like, you tell me how much that money is worth. These independent guys that want to complain in the locker room all the time about how sore they are. I want to just shake them and be like, are you sure you're in the right business? Are you sure? Because this business is not one day a week. If you want to go all the way to the top, that means you are wrestling 4 to 5 days a week. You barely get to see your family. You don't even know what your own bed looks like. And your animals, they look at you and they are pissed off at you and they pee on your leg because they don't even know who you are. Like,
doggy piss.
You have to... Like, if you're not into it for 4 or 5 days a week, get out. There's room for other guys. And if you want to bitch about when somebody leaves and they try to do something new, you have no idea. None.
To criticize, to say that about somebody because you think you get it, and it's not. It's like comparing a 40-year-old who plays softball for him to say, well, it looks like the Alex Rodriguez can't stand the grind, brother, but I get it because I drink beer with my buddies and hit a fucking softball. Go fuck yourself. Honestly, you have no idea what it's like, and it just drives me nuts, these guys who think they have a clue what they're talking about. And I just, to me, and I'm on the indies. I wrestle on the indies, good for CM Punk. I respect you, and I think that's awesome.
So do you want to hear something good in wrestling that's happening?
Yeah.
So on February 1st, this weekend, at the Palmer Center in Easton, PA, we're going to be there.
That's Pennsylvania to the laborers.
We are going to be at the National Wrestling Day, and we're going to be making money for malaria. It's going to be a cash donation at the door. You can go online to Pro Wrestling.
We won't be making money for malaria. We're not giving it to malaria.
No, to prevent malaria by buying these nets.
I thought malaria was running the show.
No. So we're going to be raising money to buy nets for developing countries that they need these nets to cover up their beds so when they go to sleep, they're not all of a sudden getting eaten up by mosquitoes and catching this terrible disease. So we're going to be there. It's
really a great cause.
It is. It's Against Malaria Foundation. And yeah, go to nationalwrestlingday.com and you can check out all the information. Mike's going to be there. I know that Colt Cabana is going to be there as well.
Boom.
There's going to be a lot of
it's going to be a great show for a really good cause. And I'm actually really thrilled to be doing it and proud to be doing it.
Yeah.
Oh, I think we have another caller.
We do have another caller.
Hi. Monica from Boston, and I'm with my friend Alana. Hi. We each have a question for you, actually.
Okay, great.
I think I'll go first because she's a little nervous.
Okay.
My question for you is, what is your favorite eat-out spots in Boston?
Ooh, that's a tough one. Maria, would you like to go first, seeing as you are not from here? Where have I taken you that you've loved in?
I love that place that we went to downtown that they gave me the dunce hat that they wrote on. What the heck is the name of it?
Dick's Last Resort.
Oh my gosh. And it was so nice because we got to sit outside. And yeah, they wrote awful things on my.
They did. It was actually, I think it was our second or third date.
Yeah.
And they wrote, I think, on my hat that it said he found her on Craigslist. That, for me, it's any of the pizza places. Find me a pizza place in Boston, and I am sold. I love pizza, and I'll eat it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yeah, you know what? The other place that I liked was what hotel did we go to that has that awesome restaurant that is sitting right there?
I think it was the Hyatt. I think it was the Hyatt right by Logan Airport, I think.
Yeah, and you could just look out. Was it on into the bay?
Yeah,
right
it was
there.
perfect.
Oh my gosh,
Awesome.
It was beautiful, and the salad I had was absolutely amazing. I'm a big fan of sitting outside, or at least seeing outside when I'm eating. So I will always pick places like that. But thanks for the question.
Wait, she said she's got one more.
My friend Alana has one.
Okay,
Yes.
God.
Oh.
Come on, you got it.
I was just wondering if you guys settled a date for your wedding yet.
We did, but I'm not announcing it yet.
It's a surprise.
Ooh, surprise, surprise.
We're excited to know, though.
We
are excited to know.
It's gonna be beautiful, and we're really getting everything together this week. We actually talked to the invitations people and the save the date people. We've already picked the florist, the caterer, all these different things. So we're really excited about it. And I think they're gone now. I didn't even get to say goodbye.
Goodbye, my love.
I feel really sad. Goodbye, guys. I know you're still listening. So goodbye.
They're in Boston somewhere. I'll go find them. I'll be right back.
You go find them.
What were their names?
Atlanta. I didn't catch the first one, but
No, they're
yeah.
from Boston.
They're from Boston. Yes, they are.
Speaking of Atlanta, poor Atlanta they literally got 2.5 inches of snow, and the city is shut down. That blows my mind. It just shut down 2.5 inches.
I have my moment of silence. I have it. It came to me.
We have a moment of silence coming.
We do.
Right.
The moment
Hold
of
on.
silence.
We have
Okay.
to give the producer time to cue it up for a second.
Okay.
All right. Good.
Ready?
Let's hear.
All right.
Give me. I will bow my head. Hold on. I'm turning the lights down. I'm lighting candles.
Okay. My
I'm setting
moment
the
of
mood.
silence. Okay. That's
taking-
enough setting the mood. For
Taking
heaven's sakes. You've never even taken this much time with setting the mood for us.
I'm taking my pants
You're
off.
just like, oh, come here. And that's it. All right.
Kicking my shoes off.
Okay, what the heck? I don't need a description of you taking every article of clothing off here.
I'm
well,
fully
maybe
naked.
I do. But tell me after, please.
Completely
Okay.
naked. All right, moment of silence.
After.
Let's go.
Save it for tomorrow. All right. So the moment of silence goes to people that live in the South believing that they won't have any snow.
Bow our heads.
I think that's it. That's good. Oh, we have crickets.
You cannot keep a moment of silence. You do not have. You have the patience of a 5-year-old when it comes to this. You're like, all right, here's the moment of silence.
So good together.
Here, ready?
You have patience, and I have none.
Here's my
no patience.
Here's
don't
my
like patience.
impression. Here it is. This is Maria doing her moment of silence. So today's moment of silence, we are gonna do a moment of silence for people who do not believe in climate change. Ready? Here we go.
Why do I sound like Pee Wee Herman when I laugh? Why does that happen?
That's your moment of silence. I love it.
I do not sound like Pee Wee Herman. I swear I don't. Hey, can I tell everybody, please write reviews on our iTunes?
Yeah.
Thank you. I'd like some reviews so that we can have our show reviewed. And I know
Unless
if
they're
people
negative, then don't write them.
don't write them because then we get lower stars, and we need
if they're negative, I between wrestling and this, I don't think I can take any more 2 stars. I'd like
You had a good, what was it? You had a 3.5-star match recently.
Oh, I did, huh? Because I'm moving on up, moving on.
I don't know what that means. I don't,
They're more like snowflakes.
Snowflakes. No,
Like
they're
from Ace Ventura. Snowflake here, snowflake. Snowflake.
No, not that Ace Ventura Snowflake. Okay, so see us this weekend at National Wrestling Day in Easton, PA, at the Palmer Center. And you'll give donations at the event if you want to. If not, the show is free. So why not go?
Are we wrapping this up? Is that what you're doing? Because I have some stuff I want to talk about as far as Ring of Honor coming up that
I know. I just wanted to, put that out there.
Okay.
Because I like this. I like doing stuff for charity. We are discussing doing a charity. We want to do the Tough Mudder, and I'm putting it out there for the world because I really want to do the Tough Mudder. And one other thing that I wanted to talk about was I think I decided on a 4-year university. So I'm really excited about that. But we could talk about
to the university.
Mm-hmm.
And they're all made out of ticky-tacky and they all...
Just the same little boxes. Okay, so what do you want to talk about?
I just burped up my chicken from dinner. That's not what I want to talk about, though.
That's disgusting. You know we have like 80,000 people download this. Now your burp is going to be downloaded 80,000 times.
Hashtag Mike's burp.
It wasn't even a good burp. It wasn't even like a bass one, like from underneath and like, but...
Before we wrap it up, do you want to take any more calls, love? Lovely lady?
Well, if we have another caller, I don't think we do. Do we have another caller?
I'm getting told by our producer that we have callers.
How are you getting told stuff and I'm getting nothing?
The kid's over, brother.
Oh, you know what? We are getting stuff. I don't know what happened. Yeah, let's take another caller.
Let's take 2 more callers before we wrap it up. How's that?
Okay, we'll take more next week, though.
Yeah. All right. Send them on in. File them on in. Boom, 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 and boom. Who are we speaking with?
It's Chris Kelly, a.k.a. H.H. Kelly from London, England.
Oh,
what's up?
We're going to be seeing you soon. We're very excited about it. Mike's never been.
Never.
Yeah, I was going to say, Maria, how did you enjoy your trip when you were over here for the thing in Milton Keynes?
I loved it, except I froze my tushy off.
Yeah, that big old coat, I was like, damn, she must be freezing. Because, yeah, you came over at the worst time ever. It was literally like, minus here.
Well, the thing is that building wasn't finished. So everybody, I came over and I did some signings with a whole bunch of people. It was wonderful. The people were great. But the building that we were doing the signing in wasn't finished. So there was no insulation. And one of the walls was actually only halfway up. So the cold air was just pouring in. So it was the first time in my entire career I've had to wear a giant coat while I'm signing things for people because I couldn't warm up.
It was strange because, like, as you say, you were in like kind of a half-finished building. When they usually hold that convention, it's actually in a big off building, or it's in the football stadium. Well, soccer stadium next door. It was quite surprised to see you guys in there.
I know. Well, that's what everybody was saying, that it normally wasn't in that area. But yeah, it was crazy. I had so much fun, though. I really enjoyed it. I'm excited to be coming back this later on in February.
I cannot wait.
Preston.
I am pumped.
Yeah,
Preston City Wrestling. I am jacked.
I mean, that's a cool thing because, of course, like I fly over to America to watch the FWE, but you guys aren't there anymore. So it's fucking cool.
Unfortunately.
No, I mean, and I'm going to come back and do another FWE show. I just don't know when. A lot of times by the time they catch me, I'm either booked on Ring of Honor or I'm booked somewhere else. So they've got to come to me a little bit sooner. If not, I'll just continue being the women's champion, and I'm totally fine with that.
Yeah, you
the question is, when did you last defend your belt? It's been at least half a year.
It has. It's been at least half a year. And I should start keeping track because, AJ's had her title for the longest Divas champion ever. Maybe I'll be like the longest women's champ for FWE.
Well, I think right now you're at a year and about 4 months because I'm pretty sure you won the belt in October.
Look at you. You're like Bruno Sammartino with that thing.
I am. I'm amazing.
Awesome.
Awesome. It's funny because when I spoke to both Evie Velez and Love, they both were like, questioning you and saying, are you actually a champion, or are you just there, to look pretty?
Oh.
I am a champion that looks pretty.
Awesome.
I am both.
Perfect. That's what I like to say about myself. I am just a champion.
Well, Mike, it's pretty cool that that you're coming over here because I've been saying to a lot of UK fans that you are fucking amazing in the ring, and over here we actually don't get Ring of Honor on TV, so we have to find another way to watch it.
Well, the check's in the mail.
You're welcome. But not a lot of people actually watch Ring of Honor over here. So when you come over here, you'll be at arguably the biggest British-based wrestling company. So I'm hoping that a lot of guys will see what I've seen it, and that you deserve to be right now in WWE.
Well, thank you very much. I love Ring of Honor right now, but I appreciate the kind words, and just keep tweeting that out so people know, and I'll keep retweeting it. I love the love. Tell people how good I am.
Love to love you, baby.
Well, thank you for calling in. We appreciate it.
That's cool, guys. And as you guys said, I'll see you in Preston next month.
We will see you in England. I will be there.
See you, mate.
Bye. Look at that. We've gone national.
What?
We've gone international.
National? International? What?
I just said international. I screwed
No,
up.
you said national. You totally said national.
Why make me feel bad, dude?
You said national.
Whatever.
What kind of stuff did you want to talk about with the Ring of Honor?
No, all I was saying is this weekend on ROH TV.
Did you just say no? No, dude,
yo,
no.
Oh, dog, check it out. Here's what I'm saying, homie. This week, on ROH TV.
Other bins. Oh, sorry. My other bins. Other bins.
All right. What I was saying is this week on
I really like that song.
I know you do.
What are you saying now?
I'm talking. I don't know. This week, if I can say it for the 20th time, on Ring of Honor TV.
What?
The main event's going to be AJ Styles versus Roderick Strong, but the actual main event, which I'm saying actual because in my head it is going to be Cedric the Alexander versus me. And I'm actually very proud of this match. So if you guys,
I'm very proud of my promo. My promo is awesome.
Yeah, it is a great promo. So if you guys check out this, it'll be available on Sinclair Networks on Saturday and Sunday and Friday or whatnot. And then for people watching online, if you're a Ringside fan, check it out on Monday. And if you're not, then check it out on Thursday. And if you're not a Ringside fan, become one so you can watch it on Monday and be cool with all the cool kids. No big deal. That's all I have to say about that. Yeah.
Yeah. We want more people to become Ringside members. We need them to, because what happens is we find out where people are watching and then we bring it to their television stations that are out there. And that is how this process works. So if you are in an area, I don't know, Boo-Foo, Kentucky, and
that's my favorite place, by the way. Boo-Foo.
I'm a big fan of I don't know where or Timbuktu, but
where the Fagawis.
Where they're at. Okay, so
it's an Indian tribe. Where the Fagawis.
No, it's not.
No, that's real.
No. I'm from Ottawa, Illinois, by the way, which is an Indian tribe. Okay.
No. They met Christopher Columbus off the boat.
Oh my God.
They said, "We're the Fagawis." He said, "That's what I wanted."
I can't even. I forgot what it was. Oh, okay. So, if you are in a place that does not have Ring of Honor, you need to start talking to your local providers of the Sinclair broadcasting systems and start telling Ring of Honor, "Hey, we really want the show here. Hey, blah blah blah," because that kind of information is really important for us to get our show out there to more networks.
Sure does.
Or more markets, not more networks. Peeps. More peeps, yo. More peeps. I didn't ask Preston my question. Let's just answer it for him. So what would his wrestling name be?
He has a wrestling name. Sorry, I was taking a drink of my soda. I'm doing this live from my basement.
live from
my basement while I watch the Chicago Bulls versus San Antonio Spurs.
Are the Bulls winning?
They are winning. They are winning 60-55.
I'm so glad that you're giving us all of your attention.
62-55. I am. It's just background noise. Jimmy Preston already has a wrestling name. His name is
Okay.
Playboy Jimmy Preston. That's
yes,
his wrestling
and then
name.
what would his time period be that he would be involved in?
If his time period, like
when did he belong in wrestling? Like you belong in the late
90s. Yeah, Jimmy was like 1980s, early 90s. Easily,
right.
yeah. Like he could have had a great feud with the Ultimate Warrior. Just going back and forth. And
do we have more callers? Do we have anybody else that needs to be calling in and telling us stuff?
It's okay if we don't.
Oh, it is okay if we don't. And I've been getting the question a lot. Our theme song for this podcast, Off With Your Head, that's me singing. I have an EP out on iTunes. So if anybody wants to hear my music, which that song is one of 4 that I have on iTunes, it's under Maria Kanellis on iTunes. So you can buy my music still. It's still up there. And yeah, so that's my music, and I wrote all of it, and I sang it, and it was my first experience doing it, so it was really cool to do. Yeah, so there's that.
Did you happen to catch the State of the Union address by the president?
No, I was watching the Grammys.
Oh, the Grammys, they weren't on last night.
What was I watching last night? I was watching music awards for. Isn't that the Grammys?
The Grammys are on Sunday.
Well,
right?
What was I watching yesterday? I was watching
I don't know.
something.
What
something
was
musical.
I don't know. I don't know what you were watching. But it wasn't the Grammys. The Grammys weren't on yesterday. I'm sorry.
Well, I don't know. I watched something.
Oh, but you didn't catch the State of the Union?
No, I know you did, though.
Well, I'll talk about it, but we have one more caller.
Oh.
Did you know that?
Last caller.
Last call
Hello?
for...
Hi,
Hello.
what's your name? Where you from?
I'm Rachel. Milwaukee.
Hello there.
What'd you say your name was?
Rachel.
Rachel. Rachel.
Rachel from Milwaukee. So, do you have a question for us?
Yeah. I was wondering, because Ring of Honor's coming here on March 7th. Are you guys going to be there?
We will be.
We will be.
Live and in color. We'll be in 3D, too.
Mm-hmm.
I will actually be there.
Fantastic. We will look for Rachel.
Rachel, come up and say hello, please.
You should have a sign that says Mike and Maria in Wonderland podcast. And if you have that, we will sign it.
And then have a sign that says, I am Rachel.
Just a big sign in the audience saying, I am Rachel. You know me from the podcast. And we'll be like, yeah, we do. There's Rachel.
There she is. Awesome.
I'm actually going because it's my birthday the day before.
Oh, happy birthday.
Thank you.
Can I
You
ask?
are welcome.
Can I ask how old? Is that appropriate?
You're not supposed to ask a girl that.
I know.
Oh my goodness. You know what? I picked him up off the street. He was dirty. I had to clean him up and teach him some manners, but he hasn't gotten them all yet.
No, I suck.
Well, Rachel, thank you so much for calling.
We'll see you in Milwaukee.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.
I love Milwaukee.
You did not ask a girl her age.
I thought you just don't ask her her weight.
No, you don't ask her her age either.
What can you ask her? How do you know how old she is?
Why would you need to know?
This is how men get themselves in trouble.
It is. Why do you need to know how old someone is?
Taboo. I don't know. Do you ask a guy how old he is?
Well, it depends on how old he looks.
What if he looks young, but he's really like 32? You wouldn't be like, hey, I'm curious how old you are.
Well,
I saw you
eventually.
Okay, so
eventually.
it's...
Or I might just sneak into his wallet and find out how old he is.
Wow, that's better. That's better than asking a girl her age. Scoping out her wallet. I'll be like, oh, oh, you're going to the bathroom? Okay, I'll be here when you get back. And then I just start rummaging through her stuff. God, I might as well just put a roofie in her drink.
No, you better. I've had that happen to me. It's awful.
It wasn't for me. Wasn't for me. That's how I swept you off your feet, literally.
You know what? There is nothing attractive about when you're roofied. Nothing. I don't care. Like,
is there supposed to be?
Well, it's supposed to be like to get a girl to, whatever. But
Sweetie,
honestly, it's awful. What?
I knew it was meant to be the moment I roofied you. I knew that we were.
Bad.
I knew that it was love the minute your legs got all wobbly.
Started
and your eyes
to feel
crossed.
crappy, and I went directly to my car and I stayed there and slept there for 2 hours. I couldn't even move. I had to have a friend come in, Tom Borgnine. I still, to this day, cannot say how much I appreciate you and picking me up. Literally picking me up and putting me in your car because I couldn't move, and I vomited all night.
That's how I knew it was love.
How is that attractive?
It's not. I'm just being silly.
So, hey, everybody, you should definitely listen to our friends over at Generation Animation, which is every Sunday on fanoff.com, featuring Dave, Bianca, Tyler, and Felipe. They discuss all things in animation, including Japanese anime, Disney movies, cartoons, etc. I think I want to listen to this. It's available every Sunday on fanoff.com, and that is Generation Animation.
Cool.
Yeah, dude, I think I want to watch that.
You should listen. Should probably listen to it.
I can watch the numbers ticking by. That is how I can watch my podcasts. I've decided.
That's exciting. Yeah.
It's
cool.
It's super exciting.
Yeah.
So come see us this weekend at National Pro Wrestling Day in Easton, PA, the Palmer Center. I will have my pictures with me if you'd like them. And you can follow
watch me on Ring of Honor this weekend, please.
Yeah.
Watch us.
Watch my awesome promo, which is so much better than his match.
Man, you sound like every single fan who's ever talked to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, my life is a bit horrible.
How about this? You suck.
Perfect. I feel better now.
How about this one? You can't wrestle.
Ah, yes. Now it's better. Now I feel normal.
Oh,
Thank
and now the
else?
one that will never ever go away. CM Punk.
Ah, now I feel at home. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
All right. Well, you can follow me on Twitter at Maria L. Kanellis. You can also like me on Facebook, and that is official Maria Kanellis. You can like our fan page at Mike and Maria Podcast, and that's please like that. And please write your comments on fanoff.com/forums. I think that's right. Did I just do that right?
You did.
Okay. You can follow me on Instagram, and that is Maria Kanellis. And that is it. If you are talking to someone on Facebook, that is not me, just so you all know. That is not me. So please defend me against the people that want to steal my identity and report these people.
These asses.
I do not use such foul language.
I will. These bastards. Cock balls.
What? How is
I don't know.
related? That's not even related.
I like that I can say whatever I want on my podcast.
Is it just yours? What am I, getting thrown to the curb?
Well, your name is second, so. But I kid.
Nope.
Oh,
God.
now she's not talking to me. The wedding is off. So if you'd like to get married, please tweet me at Real Mike Bennett or follow me on Instagram, my lonesome self now that Maria is dumping me, at the Real Mike Bennett, and become my extremely close personal friend because I don't have an official Facebook page. It's just facebook.com/Mike Bennett. I believe that's what it is, and we can be friends and we can poke each other. What? That's not right.
Awful.
And on that note, we have come to the end.
I am going to get you your own Facebook. I'm going to start it for you. I'm going to post pictures for you, and it's going to be like all pictures from when you were skinny and little and just started wrestling. That's what's going to happen with your Facebook.
I like it.
This is Mike Bennett. And then someone's going to be like, no, that Mike Bennett, he's skinny now. And that's going to be, That's the rumor is going to start. And
perfect. I like it.
This is what I'm going to do. Setting it up.
All right, then.
Thank you, everybody, so much for joining us. We will be live again next week at 10 Eastern, 9 Central, and then go across the country because I'm not going to say it all out for you. We appreciate all of the callers, and we will be taking callers again next week. We do not know who our guest is going to be next week, but I think I have a pretty good one for next week. So
thanks again to our guest, Jimmy Preston. Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, Jimmy Preston.
All right. We are out of here. Peace.
Off with my head, I fell in love again. Off with my head, I fell in love again. You lose your head, you lose your heart. Off with my head, I fell in love again. Off with my head, I fell in love again. You lose your head, you lose your heart. Fall apart.
This has been a production of fanoff.com.
And that's perfect.
This is rockin'.
Busto Radio.
RBR.
This is RBR Weekly Wrestling Talk. What happened in a squared circle this week? RBR has got you covered.
Weekly Wrestling Talk.
Stop making excuses for John Cena.
You're in your hometown, something terrible will happen.
Oh, God, I watched Impact. This opens up a lot more possibilities for WrestleMania.
The Fatal Four.
Matt Galloway. William R. Washington.
Paul Griffin.
Maxwell Baumbach.
Special guest.
Rob Van Dam.
This is Maria.
That young knockout kid. Chris Hero. Chris Jericho. The Ayatollah of rock and roll.
Live.
Who thought this up and said, this is good? Haha, you can't hide from me, Teddy.
So boring.
It was me, RBR Neighborhood. It was me all along. So are you enjoying this?
I don't know what I'd do if this show wasn't live.
Stupid ass company.
RBR Weekly Wrestling Talk. Fridays live at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. The Sound Off is on fanoff.com.